I'm longer than Windsor, and the name I have to use is Peggy Ann Childers. This is my father, Edward VIII. I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. That was my identity stolen, and I still have to use her name, Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers. Peggy and Carl, the twins, were dead. They were illegitimate of birth. And back then, that was a horrible thing that was bestowed upon the child that they committed the crime. I was born in 39, taken there in 41, and the Illuminati that they're called today, the Freemasons, the Trilateral, the global government that's in power now, kidnapped me, took down my father illegally. This beautiful man, honest, honorable, has been so maligned it's sickening, as have I been in this country. So you take down the king, you take his power. It was given to this woman. The Americans gave it to her. Her father is George, the illegal sixth, and he helped take down his own brother with lies. He helped kidnap me. The Kennedys were part of it. Joe Kennedy was ambassador, appointed by Roosevelt, president, and the Jews. Can I call them anything else? They're Jews. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bilderbergers. Let's see who else got in on it. I don't know who all got in on it. Money got in on it, that seeking so much power that they have today. But Elizabeth is illegal, and for them to pose and to have betrayed and kept secret, and believe me, they know about me. That's why the 99-year seal was put on my father's forced removal and abdication. And by the way, for those people who have responded and stated that, well, the abdication was there, so I had no legal right. Well, I do. It was a false takedown, and the 99-year seal was placed on my birth certificate and my father's takedown to cover up the crimes and the criminals that did it. My father was only married one time, and he was married to American Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. Now then, so my mother was married to Georgia O'Keefe's sister. This is a double here that married Wallace Simpson. And I'm being redundant, I know. I'm trying to get it across. The double died in 72 or 74 and was buried on Windsor Castle ground. So I don't know. My father was alive in 86, and I put this on other videos. So was my mother. And my mother died in early 87. I don't know when my father died or where he was buried. My goodness, and to be so maligned, but with nothing but lies. A beautiful man, that's why they took him down. He and my mother spent their life trying to get me back. And I wonder what was left of their life. There were some of my family, I don't know about the Windsors, but some of my family had to, and they did try to get me back, and the Germans and the English and the UK is what I meant to say there, and some Americans. So where do I go from here? It's so appalling, all of it, the pain and the things that have been done right in plain sight. What I wanted to say was what I've reiterated from the beginning. I just happened to get a video this morning, and it's a gentleman who is a councilman, and he was invited to go underground by the British military, and when they got down there, it was, well, this gentleman said it was the most secret British base underground, and then he corrected himself with what I've told everybody, American base. American base. The Americans came as friends, posed as friends. They took out my father illegally. He wasn't even married to this woman, Wallace Simpson, an American spy. He married my mama, a school teacher. And part of my family thought she wasn't good enough. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, this thief is good enough, and woman who's responsible but for so many deaths and murder is selling out my country. So I'm sure there's something else I wanted to say here. I think I pretty much said it over and over and over again. But that, I hope I didn't leave something. It's appalling to me that what's going on in Great Britain. I could Facebook till this morning. I'm not sure I can Facebook anymore. Well, I will, I guess. But I do get news of what's going on over in the UK. And that's the center of the British government. And you take it down, hey. And the monarch is part of the New World Order member, so's Hillary Clinton, you all, who's going to get up and make a speech, and she's running for, what am I filming here? My bedroom? She lives in my homes, okay? I'm living a hell of a life, excuse me. I could look quite the proper person here, too, if I got out of bed and had all the things that she's got illegally. Anyway, before I get the whole point too in this, the treaties are illegal that George VI, the illegal monarch, and Elizabeth have signed that allowed the Americans to put their bases all over British soil and take it down. I don't know. I'm going to let that be enough. I know there was something else I wanted to say, but I've said who is in the grave. I'd like to know who the man is, that the imposter that married Wallace Simpson. But you'd have to make sure that there's enough people and that it's done correctly, or it'll be done like Anastasia. Anastasia was real. Somebody gave me a stack like this, a stack court documents from over at Charlottesville, Virginia, next door to me here, where I ended up. And she's a cousin of mine. And none of the press, even when I turned it over to them, would print it or even admit its existence. So you see how powerful it goes. Tsar Nicholas, a beautiful man, that was the most wealth there. And it was taken down. It's a question to who took that down. Woodrow Wilson, and all the thugs over here, and the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, they were at work way back then. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. So this is rambling, I suppose. I know there was more. My point is, dig up the man that is in the grave and at least take him somewhere else. He's an imposter. And Wallace Simpson, can't you just hear people, they have taken up for this woman over the years, and she's an imposter. She helped take down the British Empire. There was another point. I'm going to have to redo this. There was another point I wanted to make. Oh, when I was listening to the video this morning, and it was a very nice one. I think the Weber was his name, and I forgot the councilman's name. It was taken underground facility there. But they were talking, I'm not sure that's the video. I watched two videos out of the UK, and they were talking about my father and the golden-haired and how everyone loved him. Everyone loved him. And then that people were disappointed when he abdicated and all the sordidness came out that he didn't do. He did none of that. Dig the man up and see who he is. Have the cameras rolling and dig the bastard up. I was called bastard growing up, and I'm not. I have a dad, King Edward VIII. Dig him up. While you're at it, dig her body up, and you can throw it to the wind.